I'm going to show you a series of red, white, and blue bullseye quilts that I've made. The first one, the 9-inch block, was put into a king-size quilt and sent off to Sacramento to be raffled for the breast cancer research. This is the second generation. The blocks got smaller because I used all of the small pieces that I had cut away from the original block. Now, I could have taken the 9-inch block and had smaller circles, but instead I decided to use a smaller base block, and because the first fabric I needed to have for the base fabric had to contrast. If I used the blue the first time, I used the red for the second generation for the base. Now remember, there's all sorts of ways to put a drunkard's path block together, and you'll have a lot of fun experimenting with it. This shows that the blocks are getting smaller and a different way to put them together. Smaller still. Now the center is made of one size block, and then I have put in a border using even smaller blocks. This is one of my very favorite ways of putting the drunkard's path together. I did it once. I will never do it again. I will never teach it in a class. It was too difficult. It was a puzzle, but I sure had fun doing it. The way that I've put the drunkard's path blocks together on this vest is called a dove in flight. Now on the back, I decided to do the traditional bullseye in the center, and then I got kind of wacky and slashed it, cut them up, and just had fun with it. There are no rules. One day I experimented with the red, black, and white, and instead of leaving the seam allowances exposed, I decided to try out all of the different stitches on my sewing machine and stitch them down kind of like a Victorian crazy quilt. And if you don't like the color combinations I've shown you so far, try this one. This is kind of bright and wacky. And in this quilt, I decided I wanted to see how many different drunkard's path patterns I could put into one quilt. And as you see, I have at least 2 different size circles. So, use a few of my tips. Remember that you can hardly do anything wrong with this, and have fun. And I hope to see some of your bullseye quilts someday. Thank you.